See how this work, man. Man, just get bad service here. But just want to let everybody know, man. Tomorrow we're gonna touch on a little bit more of the civics. It's gonna be around, I say, 5. Change the time from 7 to 5 for tomorrow's part 2 of the teaching, because we're not gonna have time to get into the clock of destiny and as at science and law. So we'll finish that tomorrow. But I will finish speaking on or demonstrating on the part that we're talking about. Like for instance, Moors, we can talk about science. Like the thing that I like to tell brothers about, we never should diss anything. Moors are master navigators. Like in the article from the Muhammad Speaks paper dated April Moors, 1969, entitled Clarification of Actions Taken by Messenger Muhammad Against Muhammad Ali's Actions, for many years, the law is to take the identity card away from you. This is written on the identity card in red letters. Mr. Cassius Clay did not have one of the cards, of these cards. It is good that he did not have one. Nevertheless, we carry the principle into practice. So I'm going to read, I'm going to show you a picture. One of the 25,000 identification cards given out by Master Fire Muhammad in Detroit and Chicago from 1930 to 1934 for registered Muslims. And it said, the bearer is a registered Muslim. Kindly retain this card and publish for said bearer. If found, something I can't even finish reading. But you got to understand what the star and the moon represents. That's science. That's science. So we gotta definitely not run away from things that people taught from a scientific aspect. But what was the lawful authority to take such actions in law based on? This is the science that I want to leave you with, and I want you to study this. And then tomorrow we're gonna touch on the clock of destiny and some zodiac history and laws. 5%. I'm gonna leave you with this, Moors. What knowledge did these individuals have about the United States of America's foundational documents and the treaties attached to the Constitution and the lawful and legal consequences, Moors? In truth, what are the practical benefits of information? All of the people of the discussion when we talk about history from a historical aspect were either high degrees into certain societies of the planet or supremely aware of the action of these certain wisdoms. You understand? So we got to understand about the 4th of July, the 4th Independent Day, a cosmic event, the day of the Kefir, the day of the Kefir, right? The day of the Kefir. Right, Morris? So when people, Islam family, when people was teaching things, I don't diss nothing, I build bridges. I have brothers and sisters that's Nation of Islam Muslims. And they get so caught up in their feathers when they talk about Far Muhammad and this, that, and the other. And I say, that's great, but I don't need no one that don't look like me to tell me who I am. And that's where it stopped for me. But anybody can say good things, and that's great. But we have an American prophet, and that's where it rose with me. So when people be talking about something outside yourself, when I talk about a historical aspect and they get mad, I say, well, from a historical aspect, when you talk about Islam, that's the Byzantine Empire. I hope you know what I'm talking about and study that. We're not talking about nothing outside ourselves in Moorish Islam. But some of the highest secrets, Moors, some of the highest society, the highest and most secret was a circle of the black people. And then Far Muhammad stated that his father was a part of the most secret circle, and that the circle of the spiritual scientists had been the primary influence in his Master Far Muhammad's preparation and the initiate that the wisdom that will save our people from their miserable condition in America. But Moors, I promise you, all you have to do is study, and I'm not coming from no biased aspect, no religious dogma. Far Muhammad, did study under Noble Drew Ali. If you understand time period, it's just what it is. And 4 more other religious people during that time studied under him. Period. We come from a historical aspect. Not getting mad. Like the 4th of July, the Independent Day, a cosmic event, the day of the Kiefer. The 4th of July, the significant date given as the of the Nation of Islam by Far Muhammad in the ancient history of the astronomical day. When a person just gives you one side of things, and all this what Far Muhammad taught is Moorish science, I promise you. I can show you the literature. I mean, and Moors know what I'm saying. Imams know what I'm saying. That's not coming from no perspective. Understand what I'm saying, man. Kefra dung beetle in this. Cyrus over the head of the Pharaoh. I hope Moors know what I'm talking about. We're not coming from no perspective. We just teach. And I challenge my brothers to study. But the Kefra, the hieroglyphic symbol of the dung beetle, holding a solar disk. The beetle was the sign of Cancer before the crab. The astronomical and astrological sign of Cancer is from approximately June 21st to July 21st. I know Moors know it. If my Moors say they adapts, you should understand science what I'm talking about. Or you say you a sheep. The solar disk held by the dung beetle is not representing the sun, but the star Sirius, Moors. It is aligned 3rd through the 5th. That Sirius is aligned directly with the sun and earth. It is the center of this 70-day period of a disappearance for the heavens, Moors. This was the special spiritual time period in the ancient Moorish nation, Egypt, Tamoral, or Tamari. This astronomical positioning of the planets, the sun and the star, the sun and the star at the center of the universe is a time of special spiritual forces that affects all events in earth. It is coincidental that America was founded on that date. What date? July 4th, 1776. When I show you that, who is the president of 13 colonies? Who is John? I'll show you that. It is coincidental that this is what my brothers that say they Nation of Islam. I'm showing them the connection. This is what they should have. This was given out in the 30s and then reissued in the 60s. If you can read and you can break down, I say everything must be dissected. When I tell when brothers be saying they Nation of Islam, and I say, well, brother, I study everything. And in your Law 3, your Nation of Islam paper, it say that you believe in the Bible. But the Bible must be interpreted right by the elite. And everybody, or you don't say the elite, but I'm paraphrasing. I got the paper. Matter of fact, I read it. I got it right here. Let's see. Let's read what it says. Let's read what it says. We believe in the truth of the Bible. We believe in the truth of the Bible, but we believe that it has been tampered with and must be reinterpreted so that mankind would not be snared by the falsehoods that have been added to it. Me too, but I'm a Moorish American. I have an American prophet, Noble Drew Ali. And so in their Law 12, this is what they believe. And that's where it stops for me, and that's okay, but I love my brothers and sisters, and I teach. And they say, we believe that Allah, in parentheses, God, appeared in the person. So when you say the person, this is the flesh of Master W. Far Muhammad, July 1930, the long-awaited Messiah of the Christians, and the Mahdi, M-A-H-D-I, of the Muslims, the long-awaited Messiah of the Christians and the Mahdi of the Muslims. We believe further and lastly that Allah is God, and besides him, there is no other God, and he will bring about a universal government of peace, wherein we can all live in peace together. I'm a Moorish American, and I have an American prophet. And so that's where it just stops for me. And I'm not here to argue with nobody, but if you're a Moorish American, we don't teach nothing outside ourselves. But what he was talking about more is the science of life that deals with Cyrus mysteries. That was reestablished by the family of Aram, the 18th dynasty of Egypt, the Moorish Israel. There we go, doing that connection again. The Moorish Israel, the world's first monotheistic culture of the present age of history, Moors. You can research that. What does a knowledge of the physical motions and geometry of the universe have to do with our concept of God or self, Moors? Excuse me. And its accuracy or inaccuracy, or the subject is reparations. And in order to repair, we must discuss the knowledge of self, which is the God within, and go to the root on all levels. How can we identify the source of all universal motion, which is the force? So I can go on and on how and ancient traditions surrounding government. But we don't want to stay how the Kiefer is a very ancient netter. The Kiefer is a very ancient netter. Kiefer, the self-produced. He is represented by a scarab beetle, which is usually shown above his head. Sometimes the beetle is used in lieu of a human head. I can go on and on with the wisdom. When you research wisdom, from a book called Know Your America, a suggested course in Americanism, prepared and distributed by the American Legion, the context and meaning of the established and design of the American flag. You got to know this. That's how you stand on your square. That's how you stand on your square, Moors. So I can go on with the science. We're going to talk about tomorrow. Our webpage should be up real soon, Moors. If anybody want to buy any of my literature, like I said, I gather and compile almost 10 books of this Moorish science. I'm going to highlight all the books tomorrow. I hope for our library catalog will be ordered, so you can order a lot of books. A lot of my students have certain books, and I just show some books that we print. Like this is the Zodiac and the Sauce of Salvation. This is Wisdom We Need. It's part 1 and 2. Just a couple books that we print. 103 amazing facts about the black Indian of the Western Hemisphere. Research that wisdom and see how much that costs. These are things in my library catalog. The Forgotten Cause of the Civil War, a new look at the slavery issue. And this is what a lot of students, my elementary kids, they're writing about history. The Seven Seals, a practical occult experience. Another historical book. When you research these, how much this book costs. This is one book you can research on Amazon how much this costs. This is the Tavistock Institute of Human Relations, Shaping the Moral, Spiritual, Cultural, Political, and Economic Decline of the United States of America by John Coleman. Research that wisdom when we don't get caught up in spookism. The book of Coming Forth by Day and Night. One of my favorite authors, Historical Jesus and a Mystical Christ by Gerald Massey. Another book by Peter Lambert Wilson about our prophet, Sacred Drift, Essays on the Margins of Islam. We're going to talk about our Moorish Orthodox Church. I'm telling you, man. We also have The Golden Age of the Moors, edited by Ivan Van Sertima. Research how much these cost. I mean, we have so much literature, man. The Holy State of the Moorish Science Temple of America, how the temple was set up. So when people be coming with that crap, we got so much history. The beehive, this is the symbol of the illustrious Moors. The Prophet Noble Drew Ali said to be industrious, because a beggar nation cannot save themselves. That's what I'm doing. I'm industrious. I am a business. When I tell brothers and sisters, this is what I do. I build a temple. I have a real nonprofit. If a person don't understand what a 501c3 is, they don't have nothing in their community. They're only giving you one side of law. If you want to get things in your community and be a charter community, you must be under the law. I'm going to show you. There's so much science on this. I demonstrated on that the other day. But on our book catalog, these are the books that I gathered and compiled. And the reason why I've gathered and compiled books, after I got my degrees from the universities, a lot of things I was writing, I had so much literature and research and history, I said, I'm going to write no matter if anyone buy them or not. What happened was I started doing lectures on the college campuses, and it was all European and European Masons there. And the first thing a lot of my professors was like, once I got my master's and I graduated with honors. A lot of them Europeans didn't like my candor, but who cares when you come from scholarship and love, truth, peace, freedom, justice, health, and wealth. I proved it religiously and historically. But anyway, a lot of my literature, it sold out. So a certain book company wanted to buy the publishing right to my literature to where I couldn't create anymore, and they'll give me pennies off every book. But like I said, I'm willing to go from the ground and continue to do what I'm doing. So if any more want to buy or donate, donations to get any of the literature that I gathered and compiled, all my literature books are $20. If you donate more, you can get a package deal. I'll let you know what the package deal is. It comes with a tax exempt receipt. You can claim it on your taxes, Moors. But one of our books, I just wrote copies of the page of of the cover, because I didn't want to pull everything out. But one of the books that I gathered and compiled, me and my Empress, is Healthy Eating and Living, gathered by me and my Empress. The mind, body, and spirit must agree as one. Your body is your temple. And in this science that we gathered and compiled, I show workout routines. I show you different herbs and things to blend. I show you different fruits and vegetables to blend, because we don't diet, we believe in eating healthy. And I show you how to work out right, and different concoctions and different arcana to blend. Because all we need is Mother Earth. We don't need anything that's GMO. And if any Morris is not taking care of his body, living total 720, doing things that we don't do, I'm not with that. We are noble men. We also have a cookbook. It's delectable vegan treats. My Empress show you how to make healthy vegan treats. And the healthy eating and living, that book and our vegan cookbook, you are what you eat. Eat good, look good, and feel good. We're gonna combine all those three. I got my students, they're doing it on the printing press, so I'm letting them do that for their school presentation. 14 famous Asiatic scientists in history. 14 famous scientists in history. And this is what like I said, when the flesh is gone, because brothers and sisters, my brother was killed by a Negro, black, and colored in 2006. My little brother killed Goodman Bay. So I don't care what color a person is. I don't care if you got a fez or turban on. If you're not operating on such 720, I ain't dealing with you. We must teach our babies. There's no secret. If it was a secret, how are we going to help people? How are we going to help our people if it's a secret? We must understand business, commerce, spirituality, law, to understand who we are. And operate as business, to be industrious, to have our own clothing. If you look at me, man, I buy everything wholesale, by the book. And I have my clients, and I make their jogging suits. I have the printing, man, I have the silhouette machine. I have the printing thing. I do the hats. We do it all. I used to be on Instagram and Facebook, but I stopped because I just hated a lot of the brothers that wasn't serious. We make our own brand. We get hacked by the book. I even get suits by the books for my brothers that want suits. It's a lot that we do to be industrious. When I say I'm a business, I also have contracting license. I'm a business, and I'm also an author. So I'm not afraid to go places and say, I have a product. And this is what I am. I don't make a person buy the product, but why wouldn't you support? And everything that I have is valuable. Black scholars who debunk Eurocentric propaganda. We got to know about Amos Wilson, Ivan Van Sertima, Sheikh Anta Diop. We got to know about these scholars that wrote all this historical wisdom. You know? We got to know about these. Look, Moors. Anybody know about our guy Sheikh Anta Diop? The reason why we haven't researched him, because a lot of stuff he was talking in Spanish and Italian, and so. But our brother, Dr. John Henry Clark, interpreted a lot of the wisdom. The wisdom is there. The wisdom is here, Moors. There's no reason I argue. We come from scholarship. All my students have this. Like right now, my young students, they're at school, and the teacher's like, who's your professor? Who's your professor? Who's your professor? Who's your the person you study with? And they tell them, I go up there in peace. Man, you can look me up. I'm gonna pull it up. Last year, I'm in Arizona. I'm in Phoenix, Arizona. I went to Estrella Community College. They invited me up there. One of the professors saw me on YouTube. Was like, brother, could you come to our class? Because I would teach part of the class. Moore's been following me. I'll show you. I think I might have it on my phone still. And I went up, like I showed Morris, how I established a nonprofit, how you establish quick 30s to set up your account. And then when all my kids graduate out of high school, they have their own business. not no EIN, but a tax exempt number on entity where you can operate, where you can ask for donations like the Girl Scouts, like the Boys and Girl Club, like the YMCA. We operate, we can ask for charitable donations. We can teach spiritual, religious, scientific education, charitable. We can have our own charter. I'm telling you, man, this is business. So if any more ain't talking like that, they don't know how the prophet set the temple up. And that's why I'm asking Moors to join in. When Moors donate to our organization, you get a tax exempt receipt. But the next book is Sufism and the Triple Role of the Adapt Chamber, featuring the Command and Adapt Manual and the use of our carpenter tools. This is another one that me and my Empress gathered and compiled. This took years to study and research, and we put it together. These three are going to be Moorish America's Light of Ali and the Moorish Adapt Study Guide, the House of Ali Mysticism, the Egyptian Adapt Prophet and Angel. If anybody holds something over you, because they don't know. It's nothing secret. We're supposed to be teaching the wisdom to our brothers and sisters and our babies. We got a coloring book, I Am Royalty coloring book, for our empresses and our young noblemen, for they can see pictures of themselves and nationalities of all different colors. You know, right now they're being confused. Root zone. I teach them your history didn't start in those 1700s. That's pseudo-academia. It's a history way back. And that's what I teach. And I graduated with honors with 2 degrees in historical from GCU. It's just what it is. And the last one is the interpretation of the divine creed of Moorish Islam. Moors need to know what that is. I'm going to highlight a couple other books and I'm done. So when Moors be saying what our Circle 7 Quran is built on, if Moors don't have these, I have them. Unto the grant. This is one of our Rosicrucian texts that our prophet studied. That's a lot of how the Circle 7 Quran was put together. Let me see. I'm going to get 2 others. I don't know where my book, the Signs and Symbols of the Primordial Man, I got to find it, but you need that. I mean, so much wisdom. When I talk about being law-abiding citizens, understanding the science, our Moorish American archival. There's so much science that we're supposed to study. The great Masonic secret, the master key, when people getting you connotated because they don't understand what the seal and the pyramid is all about, they're getting you connotated in false history. When I talk about Morocco as it is, these are stuff where you don't have to argue. The mysteries of the silent brotherhood of the East. I'm going to read something out of this real fast. And of course, if our prophet have a book, if anymore, when I be talking about things, our workman tools, it's all in here. It's all in here. You should have the 32 and 33 degrees when you put the fez on your head or the turban. If you don't, then it's a problem. The mystery of the brotherhood of the East. Watch this, and I'm done. I'm gonna read something to you. Chapter 14. Jesus, which is Yahshua, the mystic name and number, passed the first brotherhood test. The master took down from the wall a scroll on which was written down the number and the name of every attribute, character, and he said, the circle is the symbol of the perfect man, and the 7 is the number of the perfect man. The logos is the perfect word, that which creates, and that which destroys, and that which saves. This Hebrew master, what? This Hebrew master is the logos of the Holy One, the circle of the human race, the 7 of time. I can go on and on, but I'm going to show you something in our Circle 7 Quran. If anybody got it, somebody tell me what the Circle 7 Quran says all through it. Before I even demonstrate on the chapter I'm going to talk about. Death and burial of Elijah Mattheo's lessons, the mystery of death. When I talk about Mattheo's, when I talk about our committed in the DAT manual, when I talk about the 7 Kemetic principles, when we talk about this book here, the 18 missing years of Yahshua's of life. Jesus reveals to the people of their sinful ways. Jesus attends a feast in Bihar. Jesus at Barartha. Jesus speaks. Jesus teaches the common people. Life and works of Jesus in Egypt among the Gentiles. Come on, man. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Ministry of John the Harbinger. So let me read something to you, Moors. When you can go in chapter 5, verse 12 all the way to 20. One day, as he was bringing forth the tooth for work, he said, these 2 remind me of the ones we have in our workshop. I don't want to finish. That's our committed to the DAP manual. For my Moors that say they adapts, this is about correcting yourself. And then let me get to where it's talking about the Hebrew God. Chapter 11, verse 43, and I quote, "The Hebrew prophet is the rising star of wisdom, defied. He brings to us a knowledge of the secret things of Allah." Who brings to us a secret knowledge of Allah? This Hebrew God. This Hebrew prophet, excuse me. And all the world will hear his words. Who words? This Hebrew prophet. And glorify his names. You priests of the temple Capavistu, stay, be still, and listen. When he speaks, he is the living oracle of Allah. Come on, man. It is what it is, man. I'm going to show you one more picture and we out. Don't let nobody get you caught up with, oh, I'm a Hebrew Israelite, I'm not no more. You a more. You can be identified with a tribe, but it's one nationality, many cultures. There's only one flag. There's only one flag. I'm going to show you one picture. Rabbi Ford in a turban. Listen to me. Turbans were commonly used in black spiritual churches and signified the mystical East when used by black religious magical workers. You got to understand what an adapt is. You let somebody that's telling you what you can and can't do. And I'm not here to tell you what you can and can't do. I'm here to tell you, you go where your people at. If you come in love, truth, peace, freedom, justice, health, and wealth, and you teach, if that's your calling, like I do, when you understand all the houses, when you've been through all the houses. This is the chosen people. I'm going to show you a picture. When I demonstrate from historical facts, when I tell people, Israel was created in 1948 by America. They had no flag and no nothing. I'm about to show you a picture. 1928 in New York, the Moorish Zionist Jews. Look in the background, you had the so-called Israel flag, and you had the American flag. I'm going to read the picture, and I'm going to show it to you. Rabbi Mordecai Herman and the Moorish Zionist Temple. What? Let me read again. Rabbi Mordecai Herman and the Moorish Zionist Temple of the Moorish Jews in 1920s Harlem. Photographed by James Van Der Zee, Donna Musinda Van Der Zee. I'm going to show you more something. So the next time somebody be talking, and I wish I would have put on my stove. I got the same stove upstairs when I be teaching at a lot of the Twahedo faith. Like I said, I go all around. When I graduated from GCU, you know, I stood a lot of ground. And a lot of people they didn't like my candor, but I came in love and with history. When people be talking about Hebrew, I said, I don't care if it's modern. You got to if it ain't paleo, you still being connotated. You still getting caught up in linguistic apartheid. So it's just some things we should know more, man. Like I say, I challenge all my brothers and sisters to study and become studious and become industrial and to understand what business is and to understand what real international law is and not getting caught up in somebody reading an old law, getting you caught up in, how can I call it, fraudulent concealment, and have you run into a prophet said, if you want a European sheets and things, I can give them to you. Morris, I show you history and law from a historical perspective. When Morris don't understand the science of 1776. Let me see. I'm going to leave you with that and I'm gone, man. I don't even think I have it. Let me see. She keep hitting. But I will show you something more before we leave. How about that? Let me see if I can find it. I'm going to find the seal for you. So when people talking about one, the Clock of Destiny was by C.M. Bay. You can research it from the Liar Congress. We're going to highlight on this tomorrow. I'm going to break this science down. You're going to love it. But when people be saying things, they have things that Moors can't have, or they hold things over you, some brothers have taken an oath doing that. Let me see, can I find something for you before I close? I'm trying to find this seal that a person have over you. And I'll show you how some Moors can go get anything made, like badges with certain numbers on them. Let me show you something. Let me show you something. Let me see, let me find it. It's going to have you cracking up. I don't know, I got it here. You're going to laugh, Morris. You might not laugh because you might know this. Oh, man, I might not have it. Just bear with me, because I'm about to close. Oh, I don't have it. Let me see. I thought I had it. If I can show you this, and you can be like, oh, that's what that is. Oh, I thought I had it. Let's see. Sorry, Lord. I thought I had it for y'all, man. Dang. Let me just triple check. I just want to show you something for you can understand. Thought I had it. It's Clock of Destiny 1. Let me see. I might have it in Clock of Destiny 1. Hold on. I might have it in here. Dang, where is it? I wanted to show you this number, and a lot of Moors be acting like, when they be acting like some secret. Dang, Moors. I wanted to show you how it's really demonstrated. Dang. I can't forget where I put the file. I'm so sorry, Moors, but I definitely have it tomorrow for lecture. And I won't forget. It's the A1122 number. Dang, Moors. I was going to really, really show you what that was all about. Let me see. I thought I had it saved for you, Moors. But I have to go on my files for you, family, and show you some hit. Oh, I got it right here. Nah. See, this is what Moors be acting like it's so secret. But when you illuminate, see, we share, it's nothing secret. If you are industrious Moor. You see that? So when people contact you with science, I say, the house was already built. We can't come up with anything that somebody coming up with is connotated. The Clock of Destiny had everything from the library kind. You can do anything. Like when I say, I don't get in arguments with brothers. That's why a lot of my platforms are in different houses. Like I was in California. I taught some of my brothers at the Philosophical Society, the library there. I had a selected group come there. I got them books that a lot of people don't know, historical, from spirituality and history. And I teach, man. So when brothers be acting like this and that and the other, it's an additional certificate of registration of a claim to copyright. This is to certify that the statements set forth in the attachment have been made a part of the records of the Copyright Office with claim of copyright and registered under number AA 222141, January 10th, 2014. In testimony whereof the seal of the office is affixed hereunto of. So I hope Moors know what that's all about. When somebody acting like something so secretive. And if you're a Moor, we don't hold nothing over our brothers and sisters. I teach all this, the zodiac laws. We teach this science, man. And mathematics scaling from 0 to 9. Thus, without our Moorish Constitution, the Magna Carta Emancipation Proclamation, the U.S. Society of the myth of white supremacy definitely would not have been founded in 1863, Moors. So we're going to start right there, and we're going to continue tomorrow, man. Tune in. 5 p.m. for the rest of the lecture. I love you all. Peace. Oh, I'm sorry. What you say, Noble? My Emperor's like somebody. Oh, Noble, all you have to do is download the Cash App on your mobile phone. Download our temple number, 702-272-4775. And then attach what book you want, man. And I'll ship it right to you. I'll ship it right to you, the UPS, everything. It'll come right to you. Another thing I'm going to talk about is bill of lading. When Moors be talking about this and that, and they talk about they out of this. And I say, man, you get a receipt, it's a bill of lading. Anytime you buy something and sell something, that's a contract. But Moors will get you caught up in bull from other authors with different prices. But I love you all again, Moors. Love, truth, freedom, justice,